Hello and welcome to this week's Campus News Update. I'm Colleen McCormick.
And I'm Courtney Gear. On this week's update, we hear about what QU students are doing on their upcoming spring breaks and how the possibility of legalizing recreational marijuana in Illinois could affect you. Topping our news this week, students are participating in earning service learning hours by volunteering and going on mission trips. For students staying in Quincy looking for service hours, the Illinois Veterans Home is looking for volunteers. I went to the Veterans Home to get more details about their volunteer program.
The Illinois Veterans Home was founded in 1886 and is located at 1707 12th Street. It provides long-term care for veterans and their spouses. Other services of the center include dormitories for the residents, health care centers with professionals, and staff and volunteers that keep the residents company. Today, the home houses nearly 450 members with over 25 buildings, including a post office, chapel, cemetery, animal farm, museum, and publication and television stations. Some QU students have already participated in services at the Veterans Home, such as nursing clinicals. Other activities include bingo game nights and holiday parties.
A lot of them choose to live there as a part of being an Illinois veteran, and a lot of the people there are very friendly and very kind. It was a good experience, and I really enjoyed it.
Any students interested in volunteering at the Veterans Home should contact the Campus Ministry Office, Father John, or Dr. Bacardi for more information.
Last week, Alaska became the third state to legalize recreational use of marijuana. This means that a person who is at least 21 years old can legally use marijuana in Alaska. Illinois currently allows for legal use of medical marijuana, but could the legalization of recreational marijuana be next? If so, Quincy University would turn to the Board of Trustees and the executive leadership team to make a decision about whether marijuana use would be allowed on campus or not.
I would think that they would probably lean towards maintaining a no smoking environment here on campus. It's safer. I certainly would support that. As far as having a lit cigarette, whether it's a tobacco cigarette or a marijuana cigarette.
Even though individual states may legalize recreational marijuana use, under federal law, marijuana is still classified as a narcotic, which makes using marijuana a federal crime. Hawkward.
Next week is spring break, which means a week without classes for QU students, and oftentimes big trips. Here's how some students plan to spend their break.
For spring break, I'm going to be visiting two different convents. One is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and the other is in Alton, Illinois. And they're for discernment retreats on 2 different weekends. Then I'm going to be, this time in between there, I'm going to just be spending on campus, hanging out with friends, and doing homework.
The plans for spring break are to go back home to Chicago and do a whole lot of nothing.
This spring break, I'm going to go home to Breeze, Illinois and visit my family.
For spring break, I plan to go up to Milwaukee with Campus Ministry.
Over spring break, I'm going to celebrate my birthday and work on my research paper.
A University of Illinois student was charged last week with aggravated criminal sexual assault. Freshman Mohammed Hussein allegedly was reenacting scenes from the movie 50 Shades of Grey with another student without consent. 50 Shades of Grey premiered across the country Valentine's weekend. It became Universal Pictures' highest-grossing R-rated movie after just 3 weeks in theaters. The film depicts the sexual and controversial relationship between Christian Grey and Anna Steele. QU's Counseling Center wants to emphasize the consent aspect of the movie.
Consent is verbally asking someone, are you okay with whatever we're going to be doing, and them verbally saying, yes, I am okay with A, B, and C. And if any substance is being used, whoever is under the influence cannot give legal consent.
Students are encouraged to be on the lookout for any kind of assault that may occur on campus. If consent is present and abuse is occurring, students should call QU Security at the number on your screen. Coming up, we have the weirdest and wackiest stories from around the web in this week's Hawkward segment.
And we hear about the QU Hawks basketball team's latest GLVC triumph. We'll be right back.
It isn't a building. It isn't an arena or field. It isn't a classroom. It's a friendship. It's the bonds you form. It's an opportunity. It's the experience. It's a cute thing. Schedule your visit today.
Welcome back. We've seen it all this past week in Quincy. From snow and ice to freezing rain to sunshine, our forecast has given us one wild ride.
But the good news is that we may actually see some consistency soon. QUTV's Allison Malone is here to tell you what to expect for your spring break forecast. Allison?
Thanks, Courtney. I'm here with your weekly forecast for today. Starting on Friday, the 6th, it's going to be 46 degrees, so definitely coming up in temperature. And then we're going to move to Saturday. It's going to be March 7th, and it's going to be 52 degrees. Talk about spring. And on Sunday, it's going to be 55 degrees. So each and every day of the weekend is going to be climbing up and up. And then we get to Monday. Monday, it's going to be 55 degrees again, just like on Sunday. Unfortunately, for some students, they will be off in spring break, but other students will get to enjoy this nice weather here in Quincy. And on Tuesday, it's going to be 63 degrees. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be 59. And then Thursday, it's going to be 50. So all across the board, it's going to be beaming suns. And then on Tuesday, we have that nice 63 degrees, which is going to be the hottest day of the week. So everybody enjoy this nice weather. Thanks. That's it for your weekly forecast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allison. With changing weather from the winter to spring season comes daylight savings time. Remember, daylight savings time begins at 2 a.m. on Sunday, March 8th. We go forward an hour, so move your clocks accordingly. If you go to bed before 2 a.m., make sure to simply set your clock ahead before going to sleep. Most digital clocks do adjust automatically, but make sure to set those manual clocks to the proper time. When we come back, we will have a look at some crazy stories from around the web in this week's Hawkward segment.
And all the latest in QU athletics. We'll be right back.
Join me, Coach Marty Bell, head basketball coach of the Quincy University Hawks, live from Chicks on the River every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. or on ESPN 1440 for the Coach Marty Bell Show. Hear from our coaches and players as Ben and I recap the previous games and preview our upcoming opponents. Grab your friends and family and come out to Chicks on the River for a great meal and meet the Hawks. QU men's basketball, Chicks on the River, and ESPN 1440. A winning combination. And as always, it truly is.
Welcome back. Right now we have all of the latest updates on your QU Hawks men and women's basketball teams.
And an update on the men's volleyball team. QUTV Sports Director Andrew McCulloch is here with the latest in Hawks sports. Andrew?
Thanks, Courtney. With the GLVC Conference Tournament underway, the Lady Hawks would play host to St. Joseph's College in the first round. The Lady Hawks would look to take revenge on the Lady Pumas, who came into Pepsi Arena on Valentine's Day and dealt the Lady Hawks a heartbreaking 64-57 loss. With both teams playing great defense, could the Lady Hawks pull out a crucial victory? Let's go to Pepsi Arena to find out. And here we'll have the Lady Hawks with possession first. They would display good ball movement right here as Maddie Cunningham will get the ball back. She's going to get a screen, pass to Carly Beebe. She's going to throw it away, and that would be the problem for the Lady Hawks. They would have 14 turnovers in this game, although they would not be the only team to struggle offensively. Both teams shot under 40% from the floor, though you're going to see the Lady Pumas dissect this Hawks defense down, and it's going to be Katie Harold getting the wide open three-pointer here eventually. She had 4 threes on the game. The biggest difference in this game, though, was the Lady Hawks' ability to create turnovers. They created 19 turnovers in this game. They scored 15 points off those turnovers, and it allowed them to walk away with a 52-49 victory. They would advance to 16-11 on the season. Kara Gerbis would lead the Hawks with 13 points and 4 rebounds, and Tori Kuhn would add 11 points and 6 rebounds herself. The men's basketball team entered the GLVC Conference Tournament as a 10 seed, and they traveled to Truman State looking to take a victory because if they didn't, their season would be over. And things looked promising for the Hawks as they led at halftime, but the Bulldogs of Truman State bulldozed their way past Coach Bell's squad, outscoring them 50-27 in the second half, taking this game by a final score of 84-64. Truman State advances to 20-9 on the season. The Hawks are now 13-16, and that's how they end, Godson and Nagwe with a strong effort, 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. Seth Jackson for Truman State led all scorers in the game with 24 points and 3 rebounds. The men's volleyball team faced one of its toughest challenges of the season. They would have to go on the road against nationally ranked number 2 Lewis. Lewis won the first set easily, 25-12, but Coach Foster's team would battle back in the second and third set, but unfortunately they would lose both sets and the match by a final of 3-0. Lewis 14-1 on the season. Great year so far for them, and the Hawks fall to 9-8 on the season. Jared Kelso continues his stellar season with 9 kills and 2 blocks, and Greg Petty would lead Lewis with 10 kills and 3 aces. So the men's basketball team, their season's over. Yet here at QUTV, we will continue to give you the best sports coverage week in and week out. So be sure to tune in. For QUTV Sports, I'm Andrew McCulloch. I'm going to send it back to Colleen in the news desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Right now, we have Randy Swope joining us for this week's Hawkward Moments from around the web. Randy?
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to this week's Hawkward segment, where we bring you the most outrageous and awkward funny stories from around the web. So let's get started. Talk about some llama drama. A group of llamas on the loose led police officers on a low-speed chase through Phoenix last month. The llamas broke free from their owner and started to run through the city streets and the parking lots. After some failed lasso attempts to wrangle up the llamas, some good Samaritans eventually rounded them up and returned them to their owners. But get this, apparently these llamas were therapy llamas, and they escaped from the trailer where they had been taken to an elderly care facility. Talk about friendly llamas turned fugitive and on the lam. Hawkward. From llamas on the loose to a stolen house. An entire log cabin in Klamath, Oregon was stolen, foundation and all. And this house wasn't exactly a mobile home. The homeowners reported their house stolen to Klamath police, and they were shocked to receive the call. The homeowners used the log cabin as a part-time house, which left the vacant most of the time. The police spent 2 days searching for the house and eventually found it 3 miles away from where it should have been. The homeowners believed that someone used a trailer to try to steal the home. That or it grew legs and just walked away. Hawkward. Our final story focuses on a Seattle woman being knocked unconscious, but you'll never believe how. The case of a drive-by egging caused a woman to be knocked unconscious after the vandals threw an egg at her head. The egg struck her on the right side of her ear and was taken to the hospital, but her conditions have not been released, and the police are still on the hunt for this hard-boiled hurdler. But we think the findings of the egg hurler will not be over easy. Talk about a scrambled mess. Hawkward. Well, that's all we have for this week's Hawkward segment. As always, tune in next time for more of the wackiest, weirder stories from around the web. I'm Randy Swope, and I'm sending it back to the ladies at the news desk.
Thanks, Randy. Andrew joins us now. Andrew, do you have any big plans for over spring break?
Well, thanks for asking, Colleen. I think I'm just going to stay here in Quincy for spring break, and the weather sounds like it's not going to be so bad, so I think I might just enjoy the nice week off from having to do a lot of homework, but I'm still going to work on my research paper for senior seminar, most seniors.
What do you think, Courtney? Are you going to have a fun spring break?
Definitely. I'll still be in Quincy as well, so we can work on that paper together.
Let's do it.
Well, that's it for us this week. Remember, as always, to tune in online on Facebook or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire QUTV team, I'm Colleen McCormick.
I'm Andrew McCulloch.
And I'm Courtney Gear. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again after spring break.